Starting in 4, 3, 2, 1. Humans once were a species of 3, each human a trinity. Part spirit, part body, part metaphysical, of the mind or soul or consciousness, depending on how you look at it. During the scientific enlightenment period, classical liberalism was born in an attempt to remove God from humanity and in turn remove the spiritual nature of mankind. While unsuccessful in this negative impact, the science revolution actually helped spur on the finalization of the core sets of ideas that have now brought humanity from feudal hut living, medieval living into the 21st century. This group of ideas is called modernism, and while adding science, the search for truth, the scientific method, and the notion of objective truth, as well as adding many of the ancient philosophers' discoveries, while keeping religion in place as well, this mechanism, modernism, has propelled the human species exponentially in all areas of life. Yet, over the last 80 years, a set of anti-human and anti-God ideologies, not based in reality or science, but based upon a religion created by Hegel of Germany, has evolved from young Hegelian dialectic to Marx. While Marx changed many of his positions later on in his life, this movement instead took young Marxist work and transformed it into what is called postmodernism. Today, with the framework of the struggle sections of Marxism, the deconstruction without even the plans of supposed improvement from the Hegelian dialectic, and from the postmodern wing, a focus away from reality, objectivity, and the physical world, thus severing millions of human beings and soon billions from the reality of the physical, the truths about humanity that have existed for over 10,000 years, and even separating them from their own bodies. Once separated from both the physical and the spiritual, the mind or metaphysical is all that remains, and can be easily molded into a form, to the will those who hold the power of the movement that consumes minds, hearts, and the wills of the people. What humans colloquially call woke is just a series of ideologies that have come straight out of the line of young Hegelian, young Marxian, and postmodernism. This is a new religion that Hegel could have never even dreamed of. One that removes notions of truth and reality, body and spirit, and forces people to only exist in their minds, the realm of the metaphysical. Who will form their minds into a new... Who will form their minds into a new form to do their bidding, if so a thing could happen? To answer that, one must simply look at what is right in front of you. The writing is so clearly on the wall. The governments of Earth, who form a collective unholy government, union, #UGU, and who work with all major corporations, aka the big corpos, and the Catholic and Jewish churches and temples, all complete a trinity. With the final piece, final part, the final vertex, the education, influencer, entertainment, and university branch of this triangle. This is the true form of the global establishment. In 2015, or was it 2013, Bill Gates said that he thought the Earth would swell to 9 billion people sometimes in the future. But, and I quote, with healthcare, vaccines, and preventative healthcare services, unquote, perhaps he means abortion, quote, it could be lowered by about 10 to 15%, end quote. The entire audience applauded. If you still don't understand, let me break it down for you. It is quite simply simple eugenics math. 9 billion people projected to exist or are already in existence, minus 15%, which is roughly 1 billion people, so minus 1 billion people, It brings us back down to 8 billion that we are currently at. So according to one of the most prominent elites of the world, he wants to kill or prevent 1 billion people from living. Considering 60 million people have already been killed by abortion in the last 100 years or so, in just America only, and a total of 280 million people have died in the 20th century due to Marxist, postmodern, or other typically left-wing revolutions, violence, and such fuckery, it is fair to say that they have already accomplished much death, and with, like he literally said, healthcare, vaccines, and abortion, he plans on killing even more. To be precise, roughly 1 billion. If you still don't get it somehow, or disagree, you are the conspiracy theorist. You are living in a fantasy land where dragons and unicorns dance upon the graves of a collection of more people than have ever died in an entire century. Postmodernism leads directly to posthumanism. You have been warned.